Live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber. Stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber. She's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber. Cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, secrets to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine game. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes the talk of the town. And we're live tonight. The music starts playing. It's time for cabaret. And we're live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
In the Friday night debate for the Georgia Senate seat, Raphael Warnock and Walker had this exchange.
I've never pretended to be a police officer.
Herschel Walker then pulled out a badge and said,
I am with many police officers.
Now, Walker's spokesperson pointed out that Walker is an honorary deputy in Cobb County, but the Cobb County Police Department has said it has no records backing up Walker's claim. Dr. Oz says food should be expensive. In an old video, Dr. Oz explained that making certain food like meat more expensive would keep people from eating much of it. I guess only the rich get to eat well in this country according to his plan. I wonder what he would say if he had to sell one of his 10 houses to buy a steak. Talk about medium well off. Was Angela Lansbury a sex voyeur? John Waters says he once saw the late, great Angela Lansbury at the Hellfire Sex Club in New York City. I can only imagine walking into a dark room full of moaning men and women and hearing Mrs. Potts singing, "Be my guest." Why not? It could happen. That's for sure. Hello, happy Sunday, everyone. This is Amber LeMay here, welcoming you to Amber Live. But first, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you to all the people who've subscribed to our YouTube channel. We're now over 1,000. Thank you. Let's go it. Let's boost it a little more. All right. Well, thank you so much. And you know what? Now it's time for, well, you know what? What do bees and my favorite candy bar have in common? They're part of this week's news briefs. Some people just don't like to see the police doing their job. One such person is apparently Rory Susan Woods of Long Meadow, Massachusetts. When officers were conducting an eviction, Woods got a bee in her bonnet and she put it to work. When Woods saw that the eviction was taking place, she got out of her vehicle and started tearing open the crates that were on the trailer in back of her truck. Soon, hundreds of swarming bees were filling the air. She then smashed the lid and flipped the hive off the flatbed, making the bees extremely aggressive. Several officers and bystanders were stunned by the winged attackers. As the police retreated, Woods put on a professional beekeeper suit and carried a tower of bees to the front door to try and stop the eviction. 2 deputies wrestled Woods to the ground and arrested her. One officer noted that several of the officers were allergic to bees. "Oh, you're allergic?" Woods allegedly replied. "Good." Woods was charged with assault and battery by means of a dangerous weapon, assault by means of a dangerous weapon, and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Had someone died from the winged attack, she could have been faced manslaughter charges. Talk about your police sting. Oh, and by the way, she wasn't being evicted from her home, and it's unclear if Woods even knows the occupant of the place. Oh, and there's no truth to the rumor she's also running for Congress as a Republican. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break of that Kit Kat bar. Always listed as one of the world's favorite treats, there are other reasons to like the concoction made of smooth milk chocolate and crunchy wafers. Nestle, the maker of Kit Kat, practices recycling and fights food waste in their creation. Yes, there's chocolate and wafers in the bar, but what else is in there? The answer is a paste made of other Kit Kats. Some Kit Kats get broken while they're being made, and instead of throwing them out, the company crushes them up and adds sugar. Which begs the question, how were the first Kit Kats made? I don't care. Just give me one of those breaks. And that's this week's news briefs. All right, let's get this show started because it's going to be a good one. Russell, come on in.
Hey, Amber.
Hey, there you are, Russell.
There I am.
All right.
Couple buttons to push.
Oh my goodness, we're getting a lot of good comments in there from people. That's always good to see.
We love when we get comments.
Oh yeah, keep typing, people. Keep typing. All right, Russell. I know we've got some first-time viewers tonight, so tell them how the best way to watch Amber live.
Well, the best way to watch Amber live, and my favorite way, is on YouTube. So if you want to watch Amber live in full HD, we recommend you to go to youtube.com/Amber Live. And as you saw earlier, we have TikToks and Instagrams that you can go watch. And there's also a whole website at amberlive.tv. But again, youtube.com/Amber Live. And that's where all these people you're seeing their comments are. They're all part of the Amber crew, and they're in there saying hi to each other, passing notes back and forth, and commenting on the show. Now, if you can't watch Amber live, you can listen to Amber live. I take all the interviews and turn them into a podcast that comes up on Tuesday mornings. You can find the latest interviews. So go to Amber Live interviews on any place where you listen to your favorite podcast, and then you can listen to Amber Live on the way to work or just lounging around in your bed or whatever you're doing. While you're doing the dishes, you can have Amber.
Yeah, you don't have to look at me. You can just hear me, which is, for some, that's an advantage. I know that. All right. Yeah, you see the people in there talking about Amber Crew and everything. That's the group that gets together on Wednesday nights when we do Amber Chat from like 8:15 to 9:15 every Wednesday. But we've got some big announcements coming up about that later on. But thank you very much for watching tonight, Amber's Crew. All right. Now, Russell, tell us about the Bustiers.
The Bustiers. These are the people that really keep this show going. And I want to say thank you to all of them, our super Bustiers, our regular Bustiers. You'll see the list there. And all of those people went to that Venmo at RJD Pro or AmberLive.tv and looked for the support Amber Live button. And they made a donation to help keep us streaming, because there's a lot of expenses to this show. Now, any amount is welcome, but if you give $25 or more, I will send you an Amber Live sticker. For $100 or more, you get a sticker and a magnet of our logo. And for $200 or more, you get a sticker, a magnet, and a mug. And again, that's that Venmo at RJD Pro. And it is really important that if you can, some people can, but if you can help keep us on the air, keep us going, it would be great. And we really, really appreciate all your help. So thank you.
$5 would be great. All right, Russell, do we have a picture to have a comment about?
We do. Every week, for those who are new, we do a Caption This contest, and we put up a funny picture, and people send in their comments or their captions in the comments to Jack. Please label them as captions. And this is this week's picture, sticking with the Halloween theme, I think. So if you've got a funny comment to go along with that, send it into Jack, and we'll talk about them at the end of the show and get some good laughs.
Oh, I love seeing the comments. Matthew Viennes is watching tonight.
No way. Hey, Matt.
Glad you were able to stay up late enough to watch it. That's very good. Thank you.
Matt, you should join us for Amber Chat sometime.
Oh, I'd love to have that. All right. So tell us about the guests and what's happening in tonight's show, Russell.
Oh, do we have a great guest? And I want to remind people, you're having a lot of fun with the chat. If you want to ask our guest tonight a question, please send your questions in the comments. This would be a great chance to ask anything you want to know from Alexander Cheves, who has written a book called My Love is a Beast Confessions. And it's a great book. And he has been a sex worker, a sex writer, and a sex advocate. He's worked or written for Out and The Advocate, and he's the all-around man to ask about sex. So here's your chance.
Oh,
and I know if you can help make Amber blush tonight, then go for it.
Oh, I feel like George Michael's presenting in my body. Let's talk about sex, baby. All right. And we're going to do that. All right. Oh, yeah. People are commenting about your new studio, Russell. Is that where all the bustier money is going to? Is your new studio?
Yes, the bustier money has gone to this $1.99 Photoshop background behind me. I hope we get a lot more bustier money than that. No, it's for looks, people. It's for looks.
All right. Thank you very much, Russell. And,
all right.
We'll
have a great show.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. That Russell is right. If you have questions about for our guest, count them in there. All right. So let's bring on our guest tonight, Alexander Cheves. Alexander, come into my basement.
Hey.
And I'm sure you've been in some basements before, haven't you?
Say that again?
Have you been in any basements before?
Oh, a few. One too many.
A few. All right. Now, looking at your biography, one of the first two words are sex worker. First of all, I want to know, where did you grow up?
I grew up all over the place. I grew up in Zambia and South Africa and West London and Georgia, South Carolina, everywhere. I hopped around quite a bit.
Why was that?
That's a whole story. I wrote a book about it. My parents were evangelical missionaries.
That's an interesting start right there.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave that for a second now. And how old were you and where did you start being a sex worker?
I was 19 when I got my first client. So I was not even old enough to go to a bar. And it started very casually. I was in college. And
where was this?
It started the way I think a lot of people start. Somebody offered to sweeten the deal. Somebody wanted a sexual encounter and I said no. And then they incentivized a little bit. And I said yes. And I didn't treat it as a business until years later. And once I got better at it,
Where was this when you had your first encounter?
My first encounter, goodness, it was in downtown Savannah, Georgia, right outside of Club One.
All right. And so you had sex for money, someone paid you to have sex with them. Was that frequent then from then on?
That was the first one was a one-timer that never continued. But later on, I learned how to treat it like a business, and I learned how to set a rate and provide a specific experience. And later on, I learned how to keep and maintain clients like a business.
So you said you learned that. How does one learn that?
Honestly, the best thing to do is to ask people who've been doing it for any amount of time. I had to learn from other professionals, as with any kind of professional job. So
sex workers are looked down on as prostitutes, as whores. What is your feeling about that, the negative term sex worker?
Well, I think that the term sex worker has become the nice way to describe the business. I think prostitute is still kind of smacks of a it's a more derogatory term. But I think a lot of people prefer now to say sex worker just because sex work can encompass porn, it can encompass intimacy coaching, it can encompass having sex, sex work I think is a little bit more broad, whereas prostitution is a very specific label. Prostitution is, generally speaking, the illegal practice of trading sex for money. Whereas sex work encompasses content creators and online performers and dancers and strippers and erotic performers that don't necessarily trade sex for money.
What is the percentage of your work that goes into intimate coaching, dancing on videos and that type of thing?
I'm terrible at porn, so I'm not a very good porn star. I had
Why
to
is
learn that the hard way. I
what,
don't have the skills needed to be good at porn.
why is that? Well, you said you found out the hard way, but
Because I tried, and it's so hard. Porn is so hard.
why? Tell me why it was difficult for you.
You have to, the skills to necessarily be good at sex and be good at intimacy are not necessarily the skills to be a good performer. Porn stars are good at porn, which is not necessarily the same thing as being good at sex. They're good at performing sex. And I am not good at performing sex. I'm good at connecting with people, um, having intimate experiences, having authentic connection, building trust, all the ingredients that are necessary for a good sexual encounter. That's where I feel like in person, that's where I do best. But when you put a camera in the mix, suddenly it's a show, it's a performance, and then it feels inauthentic, and I don't do that.
I
So
understand. I totally understand. Okay, so as a sex worker, do you have an average client, or is there a demographic that is
sure.
attracted to you?
My average client, I tend to get people who are, well, it's two. I have two average clients. The one is someone who is young, my age or a bit younger, and is brand new to sex, first time experiences. And then the other client, I think the more common client, is someone who is either a divorcee or a widow and is coming to sex either after a very long break or has never fully come out and explored sex and is exploring it much later in life. So retirees and people who are coming out late, like 60 and up. I'm really good at helping people explore sex for the first time in a safe and comfortable environment. And I think I tend to work better with people some years older than me.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. How do they contact you? How do they find you?
So I use a website called Rentman, which is it's the only one that I think has a good foothold in the United States. It's not, the website isn't based in the US, which is why it's able to be used, because any US based website is going to get raided by the feds, as what happened with Rent Boy. So Rent Men, it's based somewhere in Europe, and I honestly can't tell you where, but it's the one that all the US guys use.
Now, do you have to pay to be on that, or do they get money from the
So I
Johns?
have to pay a monthly premium to have a premium account. So, and that it goes up, gradually. I mean, it's not cheap. So I have to deduct an hour of work every month just to be on the website. It's a business expense. So
how many hours a week do you work at the sex work?
increasingly less. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and so I find that the amount that I'm willing to work in sex work has decreased. I also write, and so I published a book last year, and so as writing has grown, I find that my bandwidth, my ability to see a lot of clients quite frequently, like I used to be able to do when I was a bit younger, has decreased. It's exhausting. So
Oh yes,
yeah.
things happen once one's ages a bit. How old are you right now, if I may ask?
Beg your pardon?
How old are you right now, if I may ask?
I'm 30.
30. Looking good. What are your boundaries? What do you, when someone says, I want to hire you for sex, are there things you say, I won't do that?
Yes. So I do a lot of fetish and kink, and there are certain, just primarily for safety issues, I won't be physically incapacitated. with the client.
Meaning bound or tied up, or
bound or tied up. Yeah,
Okay.
I just for my own personal safety, unless somebody has been a regular client for some time and I have experience with them and I know that they're safe. With new clients, I never do bondage or any kind of physical incapacitation, either for myself or for them. I feel like it takes some time to develop that kind of rapport.
Mhm.
I won't. If people are looking for someone to be really rough and degrading and harsh, which is certainly a form of sex work that is quite popular.
Sure.
That's not really my jam. That's not really what I do. I want to make people feel safe, not be rough. And sometimes that's what people are looking to pay for, and that's not what I do.
You mentioned intimacy coach. Do you do any of that?
I the more I write, because I write sex education guides and I write about sex ed. And the more I write, I find that more and more people actually come to me from my writing. And so they'll come with very specific questions and I like the clients where I'm able to teach more so than just provide a sexual experience.
Did COVID change your occupation in any way?
Well, I mean, I had like every other sex worker, I had to stop for a while, which was a struggle. You know, I mean, just like everybody else who has an in-person job, I struggled to pay the bills there for a little bit. But if anything, certainly right after COVID, work skyrocketed because people had been withheld from from sex and intimacy for so long. And yeah, so COVID actually kind of jump-started things a bit as soon as things kind of started to get a bit safer.
All right, Alexander, thank you so much. We have more to talk to you about, and we'll get right back to you after this next segment, and it's called an Amber Live update. And we first met Debbie Weilman in January of 2021 when she, like me, started an online presence at the beginning of the pandemic. Debbie started singing a song a day for her Facebook friends, and I started doing this. Singing that song a day caught the attention of people in the music industry, and in June of this year, we talked to her as she was celebrating Judy Garland's 100th birthday by releasing an album and starting a nationwide tour, including a gig in Carnegie Hall. And I'm still in my basement. Oh, well. This week, it was announced that her album has been nominated for a Grammy in 2 categories: Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album and Best Arrangement, Instruments, and Vocals for 2 of the songs. Wow. Now, those who do the Grammy nominations need to nominate her. You can listen to some of Debbie's songs from the album at the address you see on your screen. And you can reach me here in my basement. And that's this week's Amber Live update. All right, Alexander, come back in. All right. You mentioned many times that you write. How did your writing career start?
So that's an interesting journey. I studied writing at college and
Where did you go to school?
SCAD in Savannah College of Art and Design.
Okay.
Yeah.
SCAD.
SCAD, SCAD, not the other one. Yeah. I studied
Technology,
writing.
not technology.
Yeah. Savannah College of Art and Design, just so everybody knows. And I started a blog actually as a school assignment, and I was writing about relationships and sex kind of just for fun. And a magazine based out of Chicago, somehow, I still don't know how, they found the blog and they asked me to be a columnist for them. That magazine doesn't exist anymore, but that got me some experience writing columns and sex advice and stuff like that. And then I applied for an internship with The Advocate in Los Angeles, and I got it, and so I moved to LA, and the internship led to a column, which was Sexy Beast, which ran for a bit, and that led to being a regular contributor for all the LGBTQ magazines. So
You're in Germany right now as we speak.
yeah,
Why Germany?
I had to get out of New York.
Why is that?
New York got. It's unspeakably expensive, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to necessarily stay in such an expensive place. But Germany was a goal for a long time. I wanted to be part of its sex culture. I wanted to experience the nightlife. Specifically Berlin culture has a lot of things that I love, and I wanted to see them in person. So,
What's the difference from the sex culture in Berlin than New York City?
well, parties last 5 times as long, and you can do whatever you want. It's
What do you mean by that? You can't do whatever you want in New York?
no. New
Give
York
me
is
some examples.
New York is a tame city. People move to New York thinking that it's like 1985, and New York is now it's run by billionaires. It's a very cleaned up city. It's all the cruising is gone. There's not, all the sex happens in private spaces. There aren't sex clubs anymore. They can't stay open. There are very stringently enforced laws against sex in a bar, or there are no more back rooms in New York City, which is just crazy. There's no more back rooms in New York. So New York has heavily policed and clamped down on what you can do in a public place, and Berlin is still, this. It's still Babylon. It's still this wonderful.
In the advice columns that you write, what are some common themes that people write to you about?
Everybody wants to know how to bottom and how to douche. Yeah, it's the hardest. Yeah, it's the hardest part, right? Yeah.
Seriously, that's what people want to know.
Yeah, I could divide half of all the questions I receive into, there's the specific how-to sex questions, which tend to err on the side of how do I bottom. And then there's the relationship questions, which tend to be, I'm in a relationship, I want to play with other people, my partner says no, or we both want to play with other people and we don't know how to navigate that or what that's called. And they're looking for either permission to be non-monogamous, or they're looking for ways to have that conversation with their partner, or they're looking for me to say that you need to break up, which is most of the time what the answer is. If you want to be open and your partner doesn't want to be open, it's a deal breaker. So yeah.
Shilala from Canada asked us, how do you keep the romance going?
I think that the best way to keep the romance going is to, for one, to maintain constant dialogue and communication with your partner. I think a lot of times we get in these scripts of behavior that keep us behaving according to a existing standard or expectation. I tell everybody, if you want to keep the fire in the relationship, to keep the dialogue going, you should talk about 5 things every couple months, and that's friends, family, fucking, finance, and feelings. And if you can talk about those 5 things with complete honesty and transparency, even schedule it, like schedule a sit down talk every 2 to 3 months and talk about
on
money.
The first Friday to go along with all those other F's you were talking about.
Yeah. As long as you talk about those, the 5 F's, you're fine. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Are you currently in a relationship? Have you ever been in one?
I've been in a few, yeah, but I am not currently in one right now.
All right. Ooh, guys. Hello there. Hello there. All right. Let's see. Dave Brown has a question here. Have you thought about doing an audio version of your excellent book?
So that's a question I get quite a bit. We will be doing an audio version. We probably won't be doing an ebook anytime soon. That'll be a little bit longer. So,
right.
but we are planning to do an audio book.
All right, we're going to talk about your books in our next segment. Just sit right there, Alexander, and we'll be right back to you. Thank you so much. Great interview so far. I'm very, very happy about it. Russell, come on in.
Hey, Amber. Good questions. Good show.
Oh, yeah. I love the conversations going on in the comments. That's just great. All of our good friends talking. And there's some new friends. We got a lot of viewers tonight. And we'll have to ask Alexander about that other F, fisting from Rusty P.
Very nice, Rusty. Very nice.
All right. We do have more to come. We have another segment with Alexander. We have Bitchin' in the Kitchen with Lucy Belle. Yes. And we've got a new segment from me tonight called, what's it called, Russell?
Oh, no, they didn't.
Oh, no, they didn't. Oh, yeah. I go off ranting for a while there. So stick around for that. I'd like to hear your comments about that. Then we have Rocco and Boog and Shug. So we got plenty more to go in the next half hour. So stick around. And Russell, let's show that caption picture one more time.
Yes, that's our caption photo. We've gotten some good ones so far. But if you've got a funny caption for that, put it in the comments, label it as a caption, send it into Jack, and at the end of the show, we'll bring up those captions and get some good laughs.
Oh, yeah, we've got a lot of going on in there. That's a fun picture. All right, one more plug for the bustiers?
Yes, let's not forget the bustiers. The bustiers are the people that keep us running and streaming, keep the lights on down in Amber's basement. You can use that Venmo at RJD Pro, or go to our website, amberlive.tv, and look for the support Amber Live button where you can use your credit card. And thank you once again to the bustiers. Very, very much. I want to say thank you because you really do help us out. And anyone out there who hasn't been a bustier, please help us out and join in, become part of the bustiers.
We got a new website coming up, and that's taking some money to create, and it's going to be really cool once it gets started. So we could use a couple more coins. So if you can help us out, great. You know what? This is free entertainment every week for you. So let's realize that as well. All right, now people are always saying, where's Lucy Belle? Why don't you have Lucy Belle on every week? Well, let's give them some Lucy Belle.
All right, here she is, live, sort of.
And now, everyone, we present Bitchin' in the Kitchen with Lucy.
Yes. So before we turn it off.
This is where you stay for YouTube to watch on Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock.
Well, hey everyone, I am Lucy Belle. I'm here to talk to you about my little segment on Amber Live, Bitchin' in the Kitchen. Yes, you catch it every Sunday night at 8 o'clock.
Excellent.
Now, I like to introduce little recipes that are easy to prepare and usually have some kind of secret ingredient. Something like rum chata. I tell you, pudding is good with rum chata. Yep, I always start off with a cocktail though. So tonight's cocktail will be apple cider with a shot of peen juice. Now, you're asking, what is peen juice?
Is someone asking that? Is someone asking that?
They're shaking their heads. It's Fireball whiskey.
Oh.
Yeah. We have this guy that walks around in Beaver Pond. His name is Rusty Peen, and he has a mullet. And he'll more than likely offer you a shot of Fireball or give you a little nip to take with you. But he just loves that Fireball. And this is really good because all it takes, you just pour your little apple cider in there. Apple cider. Yeah, normally I do this in my kitchen, but I don't have a kitchen. So we're going to make do today. And then you just put your shot of... tell you, it's really good. It's just like eating apple pie.
In Beaver Pond.
This is the way to have your pie. Now, it's really tasty. Now, since I don't have my kitchen here, what I'm going to do is explain to you a couple of recipes.
Well, Lucy Bell, is there something else you could do with that drink that would make it more delicious?
I'm not going to put no rum chata in it.
I thought you were going to add something.
I did. I just put my...
Oh, sweetheart, he's asking you if you need to rim that thing.
Well, yes. If you like a real job, you can rim it. With a little sugar if you like.
Now I'm a translator.
Thank God this is rehearsal. But what I'm going to talk to you about is the one item that only comes out around Halloween, and thank God it only comes out around Halloween, and that's candy corn. Oh, you like it. Right. I tell you, candy corn and peanuts mixed is really good. It tastes just like a payday bar. Yeah, it is. It's really good. And you can also take that candy corn, take 1 cup of candy corn with 2 pints of vodka, let it sit for 3 to 4 hours, and then it's a real sweet candy corn infused vodka. Good, good. You can put that in a little fancy martini glass, and you can also rim that too. Yeah. And I always end my episodes of Bitchin' in the Kitchen with the bitch, of course, because it's bitchin' in the kitchen. I try not to bitch through the whole thing. But I tell you, this bitch is, I went to buy my candy corn this year, $5.50. It's like, oh my Lord, last year was $1.50. It's like prices have gone up like crazy. It's like, and everybody is just, it's like everything is just too expensive right now. And I hear that realtor down in Lower Beaver Gash, Randy Ryder, is making a killing selling these homes. I got a feeling pretty soon Randy Ryder's going to be going from Lower Beaver Gash to Upper Beaver Gash real soon. But, you know, this is pretty much the end for me, probably forever.
That was from last Saturday's Leaf Peeping Cider Sip and Review. Want to thank our good friend Randy Violet for filming that. You saw Cousin Crystal, Cousin Bones. We had a really good time there at 3 Needs for our Leaf Peeping Cider Sip and Review. Thank you, Lucy Bell. All right, let's bring Alexander Cheves back in. Alexander, I got a glimpse of some tattoos. All right, we've got a picture of you with with your tattoos. If we can show that. All right, you've got quite a few there. Tell us about your first tattoo and what got you started.
So I don't know if you can see it. My first is everything's backwards. Is the feather?
Yes.
Here. I mean, I have quite a few. I don't know. I love tattoo culture. I love tattoo artistry. I like to support tattoo artists, and yeah.
How many tattoos do you have?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, at this point, I've lost count because I mean, my entire chest is done. In fact, I have a lot more tattoos even than in that photo.
You can take your shirt off if you'd
Yeah.
like. I'm not going to stop you.
So
Yes.
I have, this is the name of my book in sort of a script. Everything's backwards on the video.
Yes.
This is a quote from my favorite movie, Breakfast at Tiffany's. This is the name of my grandmother who passed away, who I was very, very close to. I have a hummingbird. I don't know if you can see
Oh,
here.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that's my tattoo roll.
You don't have to put your shirt back on. That's fine. That's fine. We're
Yeah.
casual here. Do you have any below your waist?
I beg your pardon?
Do you have any tattoos below your waist?
I have Leonard. I have Leonard. Here, I'll show you. I have these two Leonard Cohen quotes. I can't stand on the chair, so here.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. Oh, yeah. And what are those?
They're quotes by Leonard Cohen, my favorite singer.
Oh, how nice. How nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice. All right. All right.
So have I made you blush yet?
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yay.
That was pretty good. Okay. Tell me about your books that you've written. Tell me about those.
I'm sorry, say again one time?
Tell me about the books that you've written.
So I have written a memoir, a sex memoir about my life, and coming out, I believe this month, is a anthology that I added and that I contributed an essay to, and my next book should publish in 2024.
And what's that about?
I can't say yet.
Ooh. Oh, well, you'll have to come back and talk to me about
You'll have
that.
to. I have to come back. Yeah, the second one is its own journey.
Okay. My Love is a Beast. What was that? I'm sorry, Russell, throw that back. My Love is a Beast Confessions. Tell me about that book. What it's about.
Well, it started off as a collection of essays. In fact, to be completely honest, I still very much see the book as a collection of nonfiction essays. But when you put nonfiction essays in chronological order, you have a memoir. So we sold it as a memoir. But I still see the book as individual moments in my life that were each their own version of a sexual discovery or a personal discovery. I mean, I write about testing positive over 10 years ago and what that was like, and because that was before PrEP, and how different that was, and how drastically PrEP changed life for me as a HIV positive man. I write about. I mean, my parents, as I've said, are conservative Christians, missionaries, and so juxtaposing, coming to terms with that and with the work that I do was a big part of writing the book.
What is your relationship with your parents right now?
It's as good as it can be. I'm very, very grateful for it. It's taken time to get to where we are now, but I'm quite happy with where we're at. They do not read my work, nor do I think they should, and that's okay. I think that's kind of the necessary rule of our relationship, is that they don't need to know all the stuff that I write, and that's where we're at. So
where are they now?
They live in Georgia. Yeah, about not too far from Atlanta.
Do you have siblings?
I have a sister.
And what's her idea of what you're doing?
Oh, Rebecca is amazing. She's great. I have a sort of a unspoken rule with her that I don't talk too much about her life, because I want to respect her privacy as much as I can. But Rebecca and I both had to sort of take our journey out of the way that we were raised. Neither one of us became these ardent conservative Christian people. We both rebelled in our own way.
Very cool. One more question about your tattoos. What's the one on your neck there? Those numbers.
This one right here?
Yes.
So do you know what ICD-10 codes are?
No.
So this is the ICD-10 code, which is an international health code. It's the code for various different diseases and health risks and conditions. And this is high-risk homosexual behavior.
Alexander, you're fascinating. I just love talking to you. I can't wait to find out what your next book is about. You'll have to come back and talk to me. Thank you so much for being so open with us. Russell, let's make sure we put up there all the contact information for Alexander that people want to reach out to, because I'd just love to talk to you about a lot of other things as well. Thank you so much. Now go out to the clubs and have some fun that you can't do in New York. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's been so much fun. Thank you for having me. This is so cool.
Oh, it was a pleasure for me as well. Thank you, Alexander. All right. All right. Oh, how fascinating was that, Alexander? Whew, yeah, you leave his shirt off. That's okay by me. All right. Now for my new segment. Oh, no, they didn't. Let's start.
Oh no!
Over the past several weeks, we've told you of reports how drag queens have been under attack, whether it be drag shows interrupted by armed Proud Boys, businesses being attacked for hosting drag events, and drag queens being called groomers and pedophiles by those on the wrongfully right. Just a few weeks ago, the Hard Knocks Rescue and Training Facility of Huntsville, Alabama, had drag queen Miss Majesty Divine read to the dogs in its care. Someone, I won't give them the satisfaction of giving their name out loud, posted a video of the live streamed event, which had only one child in its in-person crowd. Miss Divine was reading the book, Walter the Farting Dog, Banned from the Beach. Miss Majesty Divine had helped them fundraise and host story hour events at their shelter in the past. After the post was made, the shelter began receiving violent threats. Past posts from this person regularly accuse our community of grooming children for sexual abuse and have inspired death threats to drag performers, educators, and healthcare providers. James Miller, who is the performer known as Miss Majesty Divine, has since been put on paid leave from his job as a teacher in Huntsville. In Idaho, a bill banning drag performances in public venues is set to hit their legislature in January. The events include drag queens reading children's books to kids at public libraries and would also apply to drag shows in public spaces, even for adults. A spokesperson for the Idaho GOP said, "We are opposed to the sexualization of children, including family-friendly, all-ages drag shows." Now, all over the country, we're seeing this backlash against drag performers, repeating the threats of us grooming and sexually abusing children. And yet, I haven't seen any drag queen convicted or even charged with such crimes. But you know what? What I have seen in the past few weeks is this. Thomas Brackett, pastor of Holy Trinity Pentecostal Church in Andrews, South Carolina, was taken into custody on 11 warrants that included criminal sexual conduct with 2 different victims. The alleged crimes happened when Brackett was a youth pastor in Maryland. And then there's Kenneth Daniel, a pastor at First Baptist Church of Chalkville, Alabama, who was booked this week and charged with a child sex offense. A 7-year-old girl said that Daniel had touched her private parts at his residence, a pool party, and at the church. And here is Christopher Darren Smith, who in 2019 was pastor of Word of Truth Outreach Ministries and was arrested for child molestation. During a recess of his trial this week, before the last witness was to be heard, Smith went out to his truck and with a gun killed himself. Many questions could be asked about how and why he was allowed access to a gun and being unsupervised during a court's recess. But my question is, if I had children, and I don't because I know what causes them, who would I trust my children with? These monsters who preach of their God's love, or someone like Miss Majesty Divine who reads to shelter dogs? And that's "Oh no, they didn't."
Oh no!
Several times I've said, "Oh no, they didn't" on this show, but it was usually after Rocco gave his speech. Well, let's find out what Rocco has for us today.
Hello, ladies. How you doing? It's me, Rocco Zamboni. I just wanted to come by and tell you about this project I've been working on. Erotic poetry for nurses. That's right, especially for you nurses. Now, anyone can read it, of course, because it's just erotic stuff that makes you go, hey, I feel like a woman. And that makes your man say, yeah, you do. So, it's filled with passages of erotic excitement, passion, and making you feel like, you deserve something special, especially for being a nurse. You take care of people, I'm gonna take care of you. So, it's not done yet. Don't get your panties in a bunch, okay? Now, it's gonna be out soon before Christmas. It'll probably be an ebook. E for erotic. Erotic. You know what I'm talking about. Just picture sitting back saying, I've been taking care of Mr. Johnson and his, bedpan all day. I need a little something for myself. So you sit back in the break room, you look at Erotic Poetry for Nurses by Rocco Zamboni. You sit back and you let me take care of you. My words will make you feel good. And if some guy wants to read it, hey, I don't discriminate, It's for you too. There's male nurses, I've seen you guys. You run around and work just as hard. Granted, it's geared towards something with breasts, but that's all right. We all got our thing. Oh, look. You can tell they read the book. They definitely read the book. So remember, ladies, men, if your patient is giving you a hard time, come to Rocco for an erotic rhyme. And I promise, it's gonna be all right. Okay? You stick with me, I got you.
Ooh la la.
Oh, yes, he did. Thank you, Rocco. Hey, Jack, let's bring in Jack. Hello there, Jack. Oh, we've got Rusty Peen tonight filling in for Jack. Oh,
dude, he couldn't fucking make it tonight. Guess who showed up to take care of the thing, bud?
Oh, okay. So, Rusty, I don't know if you're aware, but what you got there? What's that bottle of? What is that?
Dude, what we got? We got a bottle of bourbon right here, bud. Dude.
Okay, so JB. Okay, very good. All right.
Dude,
So,
in case you're the first time watching the show, this here is Rusty Peen from the Guns and Tackle Society, where our mission is to arm more drag queens, because a loaded drag queen is a safe drag queen. Dude, there's our logo, bud. Dude.
Yes, yeah. So, I don't know if you're aware, if you remember, Rusty, but during this segment, Jack goes through the comments that people have made about our captions. So, Russell,
yeah, I know how this show works. You know what? You think that you're going to do the sex show and not have me show up and shit? Dude, I got a baker's dozen's worth of little fucking peen pods, so I think I know what sex work is like.
I'm kind of hoping you
work
didn't
for
show
every
up.
single one of them peen pods.
All right, so we saw the picture. There's the picture. Let's see some of the comments that we had.
Oh yeah, the comments, bud. Let's go through with it.
Yeah.
So
do your job there, Rusty.
Top of the order, we got Josh said, dude, riding with the mummy, we're doomed.
Ooh.
What else we got here, bud, in the comments? Oh, Josh, again, don't tell me there's a dead person behind me.
Oh, we won't tell you.
Okay, well, Char says, talk about a flight delay. I'm finally on the plane.
Been there.
Ain't that the truth, but I know that, dude. You ever been down to that airport at Colchester Point? Dude, it takes a lot to get an airplane off the ground down there, bud. Anyway, we got Big J that says, Dr. Fright, where to next, bud?
Ooh.
Right in time for Halloween. That's it, the Halloween theme, keeping on the theme. Anyway, well, dude, Josh Pittman's all over the joint tonight. He says, Dr. Dead, Mr. Air Pilot.
Alex Cheves has had people all over his joint too.
How did he rise from the dead? How did he rise from the grave?
Ooh.
But Cousin Craig wants to know. Maybe they shouldn't have raised the retirement age for flight attendant. Dude, is that a thing, bud? Is he raising the age? Dude, I hope not. Shit. How do you think I made half those bean pots?
So is that the comments?
No, it's just me speaking off the top of my head, bud, because it's the truth.
Okay.
Oh no, that's it. We got more, bud.
Oh yeah, okay. Johnny says I'm chilled to the bone. All right.
What else? We got another one more. Dude, Gary says, vote blue. I didn't, and I was worked to the bone.
Oh.
Is that all the bud? That's all the comments.
That's a lot of comments. That's I'm disappointed. I was hoping for an Amelia Earhart joke there. We finally found Amelia Earhart or something about that. But I can't answer, so I didn't.
Who's Amelia Earworm?
Yes. Rusty, we have a lot of people there who are your fans. They're making comments to you in there.
Dude, good to see all those comments from the people on the Wednesday night and the Sunday night. Now, it's a good time to mention that I got an album, too. Pure Peen. Now, that's what I call Peen.
Oh, gosh, if we only had a commercial. But I don't think we have time for the commercial.
It's 8:57. Of course we got time, bud. Only a minute and 10 seconds.
Well, maybe if we had some, I doubt if Russell could pull that up right now. Apparently not.
Okay, well, it's been a great show. We had a fantastic guest.
All right, Russell, come on in. Russell, come on.
Talking about working.
It's not in the lineup for some reason. I'm like, where is it?
Oh, that's too bad.
Dude, I can recount all the times that I worked for sex. One time was in a car. One time was in a bar. One time was on a roof. And one time was...
just a goof?
Yeah, but dude, it's more of that erotic poetry that's working out for the
let's see Rusty's commercial. I've got it.
Oh, wait, dude.
Are you ready to rock, dude? Get ready for the music experience of the century with Pure Peen. Now that's what I call peen.
Back on my lawn, so I drop kick that fucker in the fucking throat.
Rusty Peen sings the timeless hits in one awesome collection.
Wash that fucker out.
With these timeless classics, you'll be singing them at your next trailer park bonfire.
And the horse said, dude, the odds are 50-1. I'm a long shot, but you should fucking take it, bud. The lotion in the basket, put the lotion.
Dude, these classics are timeless. Visit amberlive.tv to download your copy. Now with exclusive bonus tracks from the Amber Live show.
I'm Rusty Peen, and I do some of my best thinking when I've been drinking.
And there is nowhere to go.
Dude, this other time was with a girl with no tooth.
Oh, good.
Only one was missing?
She ain't got no tooth, bud. She was from Milton.
Oh, Rusty, you're certainly timeless. That's for sure.
Just like an aged bud.
Yeah.
So Rusty, have you sold many of your albums or collections there?
Oh yeah, dude, we're encroaching on double digits, bud.
Oh, double digits. All right. All right. Well, thank you.
You can buy that album at the amberlive.tv website.
Yes, you can.
Also at the jackquint.bandcamp.com website, because he produced the album, that bitch. He gets all the money. Dude, did you know I wrote the Amber Live theme song, but he gets all the fucking credit, bud?
No, I think Jack did. I think Jack did. So Russell, what do we have coming up next week?
Next week is our okay, Rusty. Thank you. I'm gonna mute you, Rusty. So next week is our Halloween show, and we promise that Rusty himself may or may not be on it, but It's going to be all spooky themed, and we've got some great guests. Amber had a psychic reading that we recorded recently with Corby Mitlieb. And then we had a second psychic reading done by our friend Dwayne Scott Searney, who last year read your palms, and this year he's reading another part of your body. But our viewers are going to have to tune in to find out what that is, because it's pretty exciting. We also have our great friend, the Queen of Halloween from Vermont, Thea Lewis, is coming on again, and she's got a new ghost tale to tell us about ghosts that have been spotted in Burlington.
About prostitutes.
And they are prostitutes, as a matter of fact, yes. And then we have may have some classics from Lucy Bell and Rusty Peen. So we've got a full show, and it's going to be a lot of fun and spooky.
What? Ooh, did you say something about fucking prostitutes?
And we'll mute Rusty again.
All right. Thank you very much, Russell.
Thank you.
Oh, and we got a comment that a couple of weeks ago, we commented that we were going to have Jay Rodriguez as a guest, and that has been moved back to November because of his scheduling conflicts. But we're going to interview Jay Rodriguez. He's going to be here.
We have him booked for an interview. The interview will probably air in early December because the recording of it is so late in November. But
it's worth the wait. It's going to be
great.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good night, Rusty.
Bye, Rusty. Bye, Rusty. Bye, Rusty. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much. I want to thank Alexander Cheves for being a guest tonight. That was fascinating. I could have talked to him and looked at him for a long time, that's for sure. But thank you so much. We'll be back next week with a Halloween special. We'll see you then. Hey, Boog and Shug, bring it on.
I'm glad Lucy Bell is cooking again. Why is that? Well, that way we know she's too drunk to leave the house.
There is safety in drunken drag queens, folks. Buy them a drink when you see them at the bar.
Seriously, they're drugs.